Fiction is better than reality. Welcome to the podcast where we talk specific elements that make our favorite fictional worlds so amazing. This week we are talking about Star Wars. Welcome, everybody, to Better Than Reality, the podcast about our favorite fictional worlds. I'm Hannah without an H, your host, and my guest today is Tyler. You're back.
I'm back. Look
You're
at that.
back again. Woo! Awesome. Well, you were such a good first guest that I had to have you on again.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. So today we are talking about lightsabers from Star Wars. Probably probably the most iconic fictional weapon, I would say. Or one of the doing the sound effect. I wanted to have lightsaber sound effects, but I was terrified of getting a copyright strike. So you'll have to deal with Tyler's.
That's fair.
Impersonation.
Disney's pretty on top of their, copyright strike.
They are. Stuff. It's just getting brutal. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play it safe. Yeah, we can just do our own sound effects. Oh, I just totally knocked my pop filter. Sorry if that made an obnoxious sound. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about. And you guys know Tyler from last episode, so I think we are ready to move on to the discussion. Alrighty, it's time to get in.
Where do you want to start
all
off?
About lightsabers. So first of all, I'm pretty sure everybody knows what a lightsaber is, but just in case people are curious, it's the weapon of the Jedi. The Jedi use the lightsabers. There are different colors, different styles, and they're powered by kyber crystals. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yep.
I had to do a little research on that and
Kyber.
need power cells to activate the plasma blade. That's how they work, in case anyone didn't know. I didn't know until I did the research. I'm like, I was always curious as to how they were actually powered, but that's really cool.
Yeah.
But I knew something about the different powered crystals.
They come from the icy world of Ilum.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
Very interesting.
It's like a ancient Jedi thing where you go to the planet and find your crystal.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Through the Force, it's like...
I want a lightsaber.
Yeah, it's like a thing where you have to be Force sensitive and find your crystal.
That is so cool. I want to do that. Guys, I want to do that.
Disney, get on it.
Yeah, man, come on. That should be like a theme park where you go find your crystal and get your lightsaber.
I think that you can get custom ones at Disney World or Disneyland, can't you? Yeah.
I got my lightsaber from Disney World way back in the day when they were just plastic. They're much more interesting now. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to discuss lightsabers because they're probably one of my favorite fictional weapons. I love them so much, and that was one of the reasons I fell in love with Star Wars was the lightsabers. I'm like, that's such a cool weapon. So cool. And one of the things that made them so cool was I think just how they were so exclusive to the Jedi, how only they have them.
Yep.
And I really, really liked that. And I also liked that the different colors meant you're a different kind of Jedi. I don't think it's a ranking. I think you're just a different kind of Jedi.
Yeah, it's kind of personality / beliefs, I believe. Yeah.
So I know the red is obviously the Sith, and I know the green meant you're more of you're more in tune with the Force. You meditate more, and you use fighting if you have to, but it's not your first method of doing things, I guess. And then I know the blue is you're more of a fighter. You're more of a Jedi fighter. Yeah. That's kind of
justice kind of thing.
Yeah, that's kind of your thing. And I know the purple, despite what people say, does have a meaning, and there was a purpose for the purple lightsaber, and that's a cross between the blue and the red. So you have some Jedi, but you also have elements of the Sith in you. And there's other lightsaber colors that have been kind of introduced through the Clone Wars and stuff like that. But I think just going over the main ones that that people recognize is good enough. Because there's a long extensive list. I was researching this before, and I'm like, that's a lot. There's white, there's black, there's yellow, there's orange. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. I think the only color outside of those 4 that appear in the series is in the last, the Rise of Skywalker, with Rey having the yellow one.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And because I think in all the movies, it's just the original 4.
Blue, green, and red were original trilogy. Purple was introduced for Mace Windu.
Purple
and that was
for Mace Windu, because he wanted Because he wanted a purple lightsaber.
Yeah.
Like, isn't the reason he's like, I'll only do it if I get a purple lightsaber.
And George Lucas was like, I'll make up lore for it.
Yeah, which he did, and it makes sense. I'm like, hey, I mean, you did pretty good.
Yeah,
but
because Mace Windu was a little, he definitely was for the Jedi Order, but he had some questionable methods.
No, so I mean, it kind of made perfect sense. It kind of fit in.
Yeah.
So, I think that's one of the main reasons why I love them so much. And I also love like just how each one has its different design and style, because I think they build their own lightsaber, right?
Yep.
Because we were talking about how they go and find their crystal and then they build their lightsaber.
It's like part of the process of becoming a Jedi. Yeah.
Which is super cool. And I love, one of my favorites was a dual blade lightsaber that Darth Maul had. He was so cool, and he needed to stick around longer, in my opinion.
He did. He was in the Clone Wars.
That is true. He was in the Clone Wars, but like in the movies, he should have been there longer and had more lines.
Yeah.
He didn't have enough lines for me.
Did he say anything?
I think he said, "Yes, master."
Oh, and that was it.
I think that was his one line.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and then I also really like the curved lightsaber. I did that again with the pop filter.
Count Dooku's?
Like Count Dooku's has. Like, that's one of my favorite hilts. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it kind of like almost emulates like an old style fighting blade.
Yes.
I mean, if we're talking about human history.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, it does. And I just feel like it would be really cool like in the hand instead of just like a straight, I don't know. I really liked it, and I almost couldn't believe it when I first saw it. I'm like, is it curved?
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, that's so cool. Like, because you never saw that
and
ever.
I think it's kind of because like he comes from a more like not royal, but like he's a legitimate count.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the like royalty side of him was like, you know what, I'm going to make my sword actually a little curved.
Yeah. I mean, probably.
Who knows?
But yeah, I just like how they're different to each one who yields it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really cool, the exclusiveness of them. What about you? Is there anything that like stands out?
I mean, I love the two-ended lightsaber. I think that's awesome. I think it would be cooler if like you could also like
detach it.
Yeah.
Like, is there one that can do that though? I thought there was. Like, was there not one?
I know that
Wars or something?
I know Darth Maul's got cut in half when he was fighting.
Yeah.
Like Obi-Wan.
He didn't disconnect it though.
No.
Because then General Grievous had 4, but they weren't connected. I think he had 4 individual lightsabers.
He's just like,
which was so intimidating when I saw that. I'm like, if I were to fight that, I think I'd run. I'd be like, no thanks.
How do I get a stab in or something?
How? And Obi-Wan had one saber, and he was able to like, it's like he knew what he was gonna do. He was like, oh yeah, like he had his lightsaber out. He's like, yeah, I can do this. No big deal.
And then he ended up shooting him to kill him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't even need the lightsaber.
Don't even need it. Just needed the gun.
It's like speaking of Harrison Ford in the last episode, it's like Indiana Jones with the sword guy, and he just pulled out the gun and shot him. You know what? Screw your 4 lightsabers. I'm just gonna shoot you in the chest.
Man, that's crazy. That was a good fight. I enjoyed that. But yeah, any like particular battle scenes like with the lightsabers that you think
I know
that you really, really like?
I know people hate the prequels, but I think that the fight at the end of 3 is like my favorite.
Oh yeah,
Star Wars
between
fight.
Anakin and
Obi-Wan.
yeah. Well, yeah, it's because it was so emotional. Like it's like a master and apprentice, and one's turning bad, and like it was just an epic fight.
As like the Mustafar factory is falling apart.
Yes, I really liked that too, and I liked it just reminded me of that game, like Don't Fall Into the Lava or whatever, when they were like on the river of lava at the end.
The floor is lava.
Yeah, the floor is lava. Yeah. That's it. But yeah, it was a great fight and just so emotional and had so many good moments, especially too when they both did like the Force and they were like the same strength, and then they both
flew backwards.
And yeah, it was very, very cool.
Although I will say a runner-up would be like Rey in the forest with Kylo Ren. I think that was like, even though it doesn't really make sense that she beat him, it was really.
I don't like that. I'm gonna use my sound effect.
It was it was cool, like seeing them be lit up by their swords in the dark.
Yeah, the lighting
in the forest and stuff.
I can see that. The lighting was really, really cool.
But what about you?
I'm just not a fan of the prequels. Just the Duel of Fates for me was great, and also the duel between Luke and Darth Vader before that whole climax scene of I am your
when he cuts
father.
off his hand. Okay.
Yeah, like that was a really cool scene too.
Yeah.
Just I like how everything was like dark and the lightsabers just really light everything up. You know what I mean?
Well, didn't like Vader show himself by like being in pure darkness and then flicking it on?
And then he turned it on, and I'm like, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Like it just so intimidating, and it's just like red. And he just slowly like turned it on, like the lightsaber came out so slow.
And you could hear his breathing before like he did that too, which was kind of cool.
Yeah,
It almost reminded me of the Rogue One scene where he showed up in the hallway.
Oh, at the very end,
Yeah.
that was the best part of the movie.
That was like
I'm
a monster
this
movie.
made this movie like so much better. I'm
Yeah.
like, that was sick. That was awesome. But yeah, I don't know. I love that they're so powerful too. Like nothing can really beat a lightsaber, really, unless
Yeah.
you like cut it in half
you
with
know how to
another
use it.
lightsaber. If you know how to use it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Otherwise, they can be very deadly to yourself
Yeah.
if you do not know how to use it.
Basically, it has like unlimited potential as a weapon if you know how to use it. Like it blocks lightning.
I think so.
It can block or reflect back into the person who shoots at them.
Yep.
You can open pretty much any door with them. You just cut through it. Like
Mhm. I know, like anything. I don't think there's any metal that can withstand the lightsaber. At least not that we've seen.
I don't know.
I don't know.
know
They
anything
seem
about
to be
that.
able to cut through everything,
Yeah,
at
really.
least, which is that's the other thing. I just love how so like powerful. Like if you have a lightsaber, like
Yeah.
don't mess with me. Sometimes I wish I had a lightsaber. I'm gonna transition to that next point, like because we have enough time for it. Like, what if we had lightsabers today?
On Earth,
Yeah, like
I would
How
hope they wouldn't
cool
be
would
able to
that
be
be?
mass produced because
no,
end
absolutely
badly
not.
for us.
Oh, absolutely. Like, can you imagine just everybody had a lightsaber? Gosh, no. Gosh, no. But I just think like, I don't know, you'd be able to do so many things. Like you wouldn't need like tools like chainsaws or like anything like that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like you could just cut through things. I mean, I think it would just be cool. It'd be cool just to like have one like strapped to
And
yourself.
it's so interesting because other like IPs have tried to like kind of emulate lightsabers, and I don't know if they've explained it in the actual Star Wars universe, but like what determines the length of the blade? Does it just stop because of power, or like because I've seen like I forget what it was called. I think it was a game for the Wii a long time ago, and they had similar like laser blades, but they had two different ends on them. Like it was kind of like a big like kind of like a staple, but like really thin and long, so that the blade actually or the laser ended at the other end of like the sword.
Okay.
So like that's how they contain the blade. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure how the lightsabers work in that regard, but
I'm not entirely sure. I just feel like, is there a mechanism inside? I almost should have done some more research as something that makes it not so powerful that it just continues forever.
Yeah.
Imagine that. You just turn it on and it just goes forever.
the ultimate weapon.
That would be terrifying. Oh my gosh. You just go,
Yeah.
like, cut through the whole world. Gosh, no.
That's a Star Killer.
That is. I mean, that's all you would need for the Death Star. Just like
Yeah.
a never-ending lightsaber. Just, I mean, that would just be a laser, really, though.
Yeah, it'd be like
Just
one
a
of these
powerful
guns
laser.
that just shoots endlessly.
An endless gun. Oh, man. Another question that I had for you before we get into our wrap-up question
Yes?
is, would you argue that it is the best fictional weapon ever? What is your stance on
The
that?
best fictional weapon ever.
It's a pretty bold claim, but I just wanted to get your opinion on that.
Man, I would say it's
Or one of
it's-
the best.
well, yeah. If you say that, then yes. But like, it's so unique as far as other
Yeah.
things that had come out in fiction. Like, yes,
Mhm.
it's a sword, but it's a laser sword,
Yeah.
and like, in the context of the world, like it's rare. It's only given to people who go through extensive training, like,
Mhm.
and I can't really think of another one that's like as iconic besides like
Right.
I mean, the Master Sword from like
Because
Legend of
everybody
Zelda, or,
knows like lightsaber, right?
yeah,
Like,
that's what I mean.
Star Wars and the Jedi, like everybody just knows it, and it's so iconic. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say one of the best probably fictional weapons.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't go all the way to put it as much as I like the lightsaber. I don't know if I would say it is the best because it's such a bold claim, and there's so many other weapons. One of my favorite weapons, I'm just gonna say, it's from an anime called Inuyasha. There's two swords that I won't go into too much detail because I don't want to spoil it.
I've been meaning to watch that.
It's so good. It's really, really good. But there's these two weapons that are basically given to two brothers, and they both have different abilities.
Mhm.
I really, really like these weapons a lot. Like, there's so many, but I just think as far as being unique, like you said, having like a purpose and being so iconic, it's definitely up there on the list.
Yeah,
All right, cool. Well, it sounds like we're on the same page for that then. Like, it's definitely one of, if not the best. So yeah, I think this is a good time to transition into our wrap-up question,
Let's
which
do
I
it.
know you're going to be really excited about. Alrighty. So today's wrap-up question, and everybody feel free to comment because I want everyone else's opinion on this too. Be sure to interact. Would you want a lightsaber? And if so, like, what is your ideal lightsaber? Like, if you could build a lightsaber from scratch, like, what would you build? Like, what color would it be? What hilt would you have?
I mean, I would probably do the two-ended one, but do the detachable part.
So you would want a lightsaber.
I'm also a fan of dual wielding. I think that's really cool, especially because there's different like ways that you can wield them. Like you can do them both being backwards, one backwards, one forwards, both forwards, and then obviously the two-ended lightsaber. But
that would be really cool. Yeah, if you could attach them, and that would be amazing.
And color goes, I mean,
what are you, a Jedi or a Sith?
I feel like I would be the in-betweener because, like, honestly, as
Purple.
much as, well, I was going to say, like, yellow or white, like the true neutral kind of person, because as much as I love the Jedi, watching the prequels and stuff with their political intrigue and stories and whatever, like, it's obviously a flawed system. And even though, like, they're fighting for peace, they're also fighting for themselves. And I don't agree with the Sith, where it's like, yo, Jedis are bad, we should be in power. It's like, well, how about we just have people who are working for the greater good and not like in a system or
not like so like right-sided or left-sided.
But I would probably go like white. I'm not a huge fan of yellow. I don't like yellow as a color, but
it's a golden lightsaber. What do you mean you don't like yellow?
I don't know. Yellow is like, I don't know. It's maybe I'm just not used to it because I've never really seen it in stuff.
Because it's different. Yeah, I mean, for me in particular, I would love to have a lightsaber, obviously.
You don't have to ask.
No, and I mean, the curved hilt for me. Like when I saw Count Dooku have it, I'm like, that is super cool. I just like how nobody else has it. And I feel like it would just like hold so well in your hand.
Yeah.
I don't know, personally, like instead of just having the straight, I feel like the curve would just, I'm terrified that if I were to have a lightsaber, like my hand would slip up and I'd slice my fingers off. That's just a thought that occurs to me. So I'm like, I feel like the curve, like there would be less likely of a chance that would happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like it'd be easier to kind of like move it around in your hand. I would probably be a purple color. So I would have the curved hilt purple because I feel like I have elements of both. Yeah, because I'm kind of more like you. I don't know if I'm necessarily neutral. I think I'm more on the good side, but I'm not like full good. Like I would have elements of like fear and hate like in my fighting and like take matters into my own hands sometimes, like if I had to, but like for the good. Yeah. Like I don't think I would ever become a Sith. I don't think. I don't know.
Count Dooku was originally a Jedi.
Yeah, that's true. He was
the apprentice of Yoda, who's arguably like one of the best Jedis of all time.
How cool would that be if Yoda was your apprentice? Man.
You mean Yoda was your master?
Or master, sorry. Yeah, teach Yoda. I'm going to teach Yoda. Yeah, that would be super cool. So anyway, I think that would be my ideal. And I would like it to be metallic silver with a black hand grip and black trim.
Oh, I didn't even think about
very specific
any of that stuff.
Well, you have time to think now. We have a little bit of time.
Do like brushed gunmetal with like black accents.
That's cool. I like that. All right.
You put me on the spot. That's what it came up with.
No, I mean, that's pretty good. That's cool.
Any other lightsaber things you want to throw in there?
I don't think so. Like that was our wrap-up question. We both answered it. So, yeah, everybody just make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share if you like this, and tune in. Next week, I think we were talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender. Ooh. We're gonna switch topics. Yeah.
Excited.
All right. So make sure you tune in next time. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. If you like what you hear, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify or iTunes, be sure to check out our videos on YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you check out that audio. Thank you so much for your support. We'll see you next time.